Hey mama! If you're looking to have a deeper relationship with Jesus and searching for a community of Christian moms, I'm so glad you are here. I'm a Christian wife and mom who is passionate about helping mamas finally let go of the mom guilt and learn to live loved. I want to help mamas see that they are truly and perfectly loved, especially in motherhood. Welcome back to the Live Loved Mom podcast. I'm Sindy, your host. I'm a wife, mom, and lover of Jesus. Let's dig into God's Word together and get encouraged while we're on this journey of motherhood. Let's learn some parenting tips and mom hacks and learn how to raise our kids God's way. So, grab your coffee, listen on your drive to work, or maybe put that forgotten load of laundry back to wash again. Let's tackle mom guilt together and learn to live loved. Hey mama, happy Thursday. I am so glad you're here. I hope you've been having an amazing week so far. And today we are going to chat about some steps to take to start living a low toxic lifestyle. And I was having this conversation the other day with someone, and they just felt so frustrated with everything that's been coming in the media about the stuff in our foods and how people are getting sick with the ingredients that are in the foods, how it can cause cancer and all those things. So I just wanted to kind of give like some simple steps that I think everyone can take to, try to, it's never going to be perfect, right? We're surrounded by a lot of things, and we can just try our best to remove as many toxins as we can, right? So that's what I'm going to go over today, and hopefully it encourages you and it educates you a little bit if you're not aware. But also hopefully it gives you like some practical steps that you can take. So I have 3 easy steps to get started on a low tox lifestyle. So a lot of the things that have been coming out like in the news about glyphosate being in like the cereal and the grains, and there's so many chemicals, like the forever chemicals, like the PFAS and PFOs and all those things that have been found in the nonstick cookware. And we are surrounded by these things that we have been putting in our bodies, that they are saying that it's not good for us, right? Like the PEGs and the fragrances and all those things that are man-made can be harmful to us and to our health. So I'm just going to go over, first of all, take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. It will be okay. Don't blame yourself for what you didn't know, and just educate yourself and move forward, right? And also just take it one step at a time. So take a deep breath. Don't blame yourself. Educate yourself and take it one step at a time. So, even though we've had all of these exposures and all of these things that, we've all been exposed to, I think it's important for us to realize that, we weren't aware of a lot of these things, and we couldn't make an informed, educated decision if we were not aware of what could have caused all of this, right? Because for me as a child, like eating a bowl of cereal was like one of my favorite things. And no one would think that, like a bowl of cereal would be full of glyphosate and could be harmful. So, like I said, just take a deep breath. If you're a mama and you're just finding out about these things and you feel overwhelmed with all the information that's coming out, just take it one step at a time. I actually started discovering just all of these things a few years back, and I decided to slowly start eliminating certain products and switching out certain products in my home, in our home, because my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer. When I got pregnant, I got even more curious, and I just started looking and searching everywhere. So one of the things that I've used to kind of educate myself is the Environmental Working Group, EWG. It's a website. It's a nonprofit, nonpartisan website, and they test a lot of products, and you can find like skincare products and things like that on the website, on their database. You can search your products that you use at home, and it will give it a rating of toxicity level. So that can be very helpful in determining, if it's an item that you might need to switch eventually, or if it is an item that is, good enough to keep around and use in your household with your family. So the Environmental Working Group is one of the websites that can be helpful. They also come out every year, I think it's every year, with the Dirty Dozen. And what that is just a list of fruits that have the most like glyphosate and pesticides on it, to try to avoid if possible, and to purchase organic. So you can always, go to the WG website and search for foods or products to determine, the level of toxicity, or if they're on the Dirty Dozen list, you can try to either buy organic or avoid it. I think Aldi is like a great option if you're on a budget and you're trying to buy organic products, because their prices are pretty good. But even at other stores like Publix, you can find, like, especially when they have sales, you can find organic products that might fit into your budget if they're in the Dirty Dozen list. Okay. The other person I would say is the Food Babe, that like really opened up my eyes when I started following the Food Babe, because she would educate people, but also she still does. She has these petitions that she makes for us, like especially us moms, to like sign and tell these companies that we don't want certain products in our food, because they put products in our food here in the US that are not in products in other countries. So like a box of cereal might have a whole bunch of ingredients here, but in other countries the list of ingredients is a lot less, and it doesn't have all the food dyes and all the extra chemicals that they have in other countries. So the Food Babe, her name is Vonnie Harry. She usually has petitions that you can go on her website or on her Instagram. You can sign the petition to ask the companies to remove these harmful ingredients from the food that we're feeding our kids. She also wrote a book called Feeding You Lies. I have not read it, but in it she talks about, the companies and what they have put in our foods to kind of make it addictive, so that, we can want more of the food that they make. So those are some of the things that, you can use to educate yourself, is the EWG website. And then you can find the Food Babe on Instagram or on her website. And the other thing I would say is to kind of start looking at ingredients. When you buy a product, look at the ingredients. And if it's a word that you cannot pronounce, then it's probably not the best option. If it's a word that you don't know what it is, it's probably not the best option, especially when it comes to food. So those, I would say, are the tips to kind of educate ourselves, instead of blaming ourselves, right? Let's take accountability for what we allow in our home and what we spend our money on. Because I do think that with what we purchase, we can vote for the changes that need to be made. If we choose to continue purchasing the products that are harmful, the products that are filled with these chemicals that can be harmful for us and for our families, then we're not sending a message to the companies, and the companies are going to keep producing, what they're producing. So we have to vote with our money, and we have to make the choice, the commitment to kind of switch out our products to products that are better for our family, that are better for our health. Those are the tips that I would say can be helpful when we're trying to educate ourselves and trying to, start removing things from our home that can be toxic. So the other thing is to just take it one step at a time. It can feel overwhelming when you start thinking about all the things that you need to switch out, that you need to get rid of. For me, I didn't just grab stuff and start throwing it out. I started okay, well, let me see what better laundry detergent I can switch to once this bottle is done. Because especially in this economy, when, prices are through the roof, I don't think we can afford to just throw out stuff. I mean, at least not in my household. But for us, what we've done is we've slowly switched things out. And one thing that I would say that you can start doing now is to filter your tap water. So if you, you should be drinking water at home, but, instead of buying bottled water or drinking tap water, which I hope nobody's drinking tap water, but if that is the case, try to purchase a filter to filter your water. Okay. That's one step that you can take to start removing toxins in your home. The other step is you can try to switch out things in your kitchen, switch out plastic for glass containers, because when you microwave the plastic containers, the plastic can leach into your food, from what experts are saying. So like I said, don't just start throwing everything out. You can slowly start switching things out, like our cookware. Instead of using nonstick pans, maybe trying to switch it to stainless steel or cast iron or, other non-toxic coating pans instead of the nonstick ones that have the forever PFOs and PFAs in them. yeah, so start switching just one thing at a time. Start switching, or you can even start like, okay, I'm going to do like one room at a time, like bathroom. Okay, what products am I going to switch in the bathroom? Laundry, what products am I going to switch in the laundry? Kitchen, what products am I going to switch in the kitchen? And then just do it one at a time. Like when you run out of that product, hopefully you've already done the research of what you're going to switch to, and you can switch to it. Like when you run out of laundry detergent, instead of using like what you regularly would use, maybe switch to a brand like Truly Free. That's what we use in our home. We use Truly Free. Another one is Branch Basics, is another option. Another thing is a lot of the like candles and air fresheners and all those things can also have like these toxins in them. So, maybe trying to switch your air freshener out for more less toxic option. We have switched to Grow Fragrance for like the candles and the air freshener, but I'm sure there are other options, that are also like I said, that EWG, and there are other apps too, but I can't. I mean, that because that's the one that I use, I can't really think of. But there are other apps out there that you can use to kind of scan the barcode of the products that you have at home. And it will give you like a list of the ingredients. But the reason I like the EWG is because it gives you a rating, but it also gives you a list of the ingredients, and it tells you why that ingredient could be harmful. Like, it related to like hormone disruption, or it could be related to, causing cancer or something along those lines. So like I said, not to scare, but not to be scared or to be afraid, but to be educated and to make wiser decisions when we're switching, our products. Just take it one step at a time, right? Because our help comes from the Lord. We can try our best, but ultimately we just gonna leave it in God's hands, and we're not going to be anxious about it. We're not going to, because I feel like being anxious about it and stressing about it can be detrimental to our health as well. Like having so much stress can be so detrimental to our health. So it's kind of like we have to be aware of these things, kind of open our eyes to, the products that we use and the things that we allow in our home. But we don't have to be paralyzed or feel like, oh man, like I feel so hopeless, like there's nothing I can do. No, there is something that we can do. We can switch our products. We can support the companies that are trying to do things right, and avoid the companies that are still putting things that are not healthy, and that we don't want in our home and in our families. Okay. So that's all I had for you today. I hope that this was very helpful. And, if you did find it helpful, feel free to share it with another mom that you know. Like I said, take it one step at a time. Don't stress it out. Let go and let God. And remember to continue to learn to live loved. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I pray that it has blessed you in some way. If you found value in this episode, or you know a mama who could use some encouragement, please be sure to share the episode with them. Would you take just a few minutes to leave a review on Apple Podcasts? It would mean a great deal to me if you could let me know what you thought of the episode. Be sure to follow us at Live Love Mom Podcast on Instagram. And if you haven't already, come join us in our free Live Love Mom community on Facebook. Let's mom alongside each other and continue to learn to live loved.